Floid here, 53, Estia Province, blue team. BestN00b is a Warlock, a melee hero that can leap into combat with some powerful spells, giving him support, disruption and offense. Alongside, Fr33man is a Hive Tyrant, a lumbering hero walking through objects and cannot be suppressed. Some good offense, disruption and support begins in melee combat with a basic synapse. And rounding off his blue team is Phoenix, as a plague champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. On the other side, we have the angriest team ever. It's 3 Warbosses. First up, we have Ace of Swords. Alongside is Zevargel. And we also have Floid. These guys support their boys, walk through objects, and smack things in the face. I mean, look at him. Freebooters here for Zevargel. Ace of Swords is on the west side up against that Warlock, who's backing the hell away at the sight of him. Tyrant Avengers alongside there. Middle, we might see a 2v2 fight. The two Warbosses kind of close together. Do the boss poles stack? I always forget. Maybe we'll see. Here comes some Spore Mines. Warboss wading into some Termagants. No upgrades yet. Not sure where his other shooter boys are. Where are they? Here they come. Ace of Swords already has double shooters in play. Getting a Daka in on the Howling Banshees. Are trying to finish off those sluggers and they got them. Can the Banshees get away now? They should be fine. No melee from those shooters really. Now they can take this heavy cover here. Or at least try to. And outshoot those Dire Avengers. Meanwhile, middle. Hive Tyrant's taking barely any damage whatsoever. Zevargel, I think, is off the field. Yes, he is. Special attack from the Warboss. Or was that the stomp? That might have been his stomp there. That's a special attack. Oh, Spore Mines in amongst those sluggers, doing that damage over time these days, of course. Which spreads to these shooter boys. They do have their knob bleeder though. Wow, that was quite a lot of damage there. Plague Champion has moved up, shooting the crap out of stuff out of cover. There's so much Daka though. Orks forced off. Double CSM alongside that Plague Champion there. Termagants, no upgrades. Hormagaunts going for the power early on. Ace, I don't think he's going to turn around to defend. Lots of dead stuff over here. Comes the Warlock. Can he hit a good Destructor? He's gone for the Immolator too. Immolator into a Destructor. Bad news for some clumped up stationary shooter boys. Warboss taking a time to get the decap. Meanwhile, Power Harass. Yep, Heretics on it. Double CSM. Need to try to focus down these sluggers, I think. Immediate threat here. And Heretics are on the move for their Doom Blast. Yeah, sluggers. Double CSM on the sluggers is bad news. Unupgraded like that. Not a whole lot they could do. Need to get that. Try and suppress both of those CSM with your big shooter boys, I think. But you're just getting the DPS right now. Warboss tying up the Plague Champion. Those shooter boys very close to going down. Got out of there. See the double CSM focus firing the Warboss, and they do get him off the field. Good pressure here from Phoenix. Doesn't want to lose his Plague Champion though. He's got some Havocs on the way. Can he get them up and close to him before he retreats? He can. Now we've got some Nurgle Worship and stay in the field. Bash some generators. Meanwhile, west side, Warboss is not going to get away. Some nice XP there for the Warlock. He's on his way to level 2. 2/3 of the way at least. That's that Immolator Destructor combo. The shooters did not like that. Did they drop a model though? They dropped one. These shooter boys getting way too close to Pew Pew Eldar shootings. 492 to 464. 2-1 cap for the Orky team. But they are not getting the best of these engagements from what I've seen. Warboss here with angry bits of Floid. Even angrier than usual. Suppressing those Havocs, a good way to use your shooter boys. But can they get the sluggers in there? They do have their burners, giving them a couple of power weapons, and they do get in barely. They took a burst of fire from those Havocs, which did a ton of damage. Need to be careful here. Eternal War CSM on retreat path, trying to force melee combat, but they in turn are taking a bunch of damage from the shooter boys. Pretty decent passage of play there for Phoenix. How much did he lose exactly? 1 CSM model, 4 Heretics, and that was it. Don't think the Orc player here... Who's this, Floid? Yeah, I don't think he's going to be quick enough to get up to the power and return the favour of bashing. Down goes the Hive Tyrant here, right next to his natural victory point. Sluggers had something to do with that, I'm sure. Here comes some Termagants and Hormagaunts. Upgrades all around, and we have Barb Strangler Warriors too. Really bad news for those sluggers. It's a nice retreat path, but are they going to get away from these leaping Hormagaunts? Looks like they'll be okay. With 20 hit points, you would think. Hormagaunts are still giving chase and still leaping down to 12. I think they'll be alright. Here comes the Warboss, leveled up to 2. Pretty close to level 3 is Zevargel there. Nobody really able to hold the center for any amount of time. And this west side is capped up by the Eldar. Here comes some double shooters though. Fully upgraded? No, they don't have their big shooters, but they do have their knob leaders. Sluggers on capping duty. Ace trying to push the line up towards the Eldar. Doesn't want to invite Eldar onto him to stop that cap there. Howling Banshees have the what? Aspect of strength. Floid having to replace sluggers he lost, as did Ace. We saw those guys go down in the first engagement, of course. Warboss putting hard boys on himself. He has spiky armor, which really deters the Banshees from fighting him. That was a nice stomp there, I believe. We've lost the indicator for the Warboss. Just crushing those Dire Avengers. Not sure why the Warlock was chasing them. I guess he didn't want to try and get close to these shooter boys. That's a lot of Daka. Ace of Swords confident he could push through there and did pretty easily. He needs a Shuriken Cannon, I think, BestN00b, but he's gone tier 2 without one. Got no real way to stop that Warboss apart from pure DPS. This is Zevargel's Warboss here with Cyborg implants. Also got Angry Bits, and Power Bash is on. Ace of Swords shooter boys. Where's Zevargel's boys? Here they come. Sluggers are there too with burners. He could raise this entire gen farm. Have Tyrant just hanging out. Barb Strangler Warriors coming in. They could stop it. That's a big juicy blob of stuff to hit with your Barb Strangler there. Charging Warboss though. Did not get the crippling poison off in time, and he got in amongst the Tyranids here. There's his big stomp. Big knockback and stun. Here come the Eldar to defend. Immolator. Destructor. Nicely hit on those sluggers. They did completely bash those gens though. Now they need to get out clean. They cannot get out clean. It's a retreat instead. So blue team might get the west side right back here. 385 to 462 as players start to think about tier 2 units. Storm Boys. Relatively late in tier 1 for Floid. Power melee weapons. If you ask him why Storm Boys have power melee weapons, it's because they're Orks and they said so. Oh, look at this. Plague Champion, Plague Fist. He's getting a Mucus Discharge too. And most likely the Armor of Pestilence. Getting in amongst these fellas. But that's a hell of a lot of Daka. Fully upgraded shooter boys. Oh, these guys aren't fully upgraded. They don't have their knob leader. Can he actually get up and into the enemy power here, Floid? Not seen him up there yet. Zone Thrope on the field for Fr33man. There's Havocs of Phoenix are back. They should be able to turn around and defend the power though. Now it's blue team's turn to bash power. Looks like they didn't get it all. And that's a hell of a lot of damage on those warriors. They did get their Barb Strangler off. But that's pretty dicey. They're going to drop a model soon. There it is. And you see the Synapse backlash on those Termagants. Was trying to get them back to the safety of the Brood Nest. Put down there by the Hive Tyrant from his global bar. Allows allies to reinforce off it. Was recently nerfed, I think. You can't reinforce from quite so far away, and I think it doesn't give you quite as much health regen. Not that it gave you a huge amount before, but they're keeping the pressure up here. They did not get in and get out. They've set up to stay a little while. Brood Nest goes down. Here comes Floyd. Storm Boys jumping after the Zone Throat. They will tear it down in seconds. Gets away, I think. Yes. Don't think they needed to do that crippling poison, but it might have been vital. Especially if these guys could have jumped again. Howling Banshee's now getting stuck in. They have their X up with that two-handed Executioner Spear. Heavy melee from that thing. Storm Boys got into tons of trouble. Grenades on retreat path. Close to finishing them off. Lucky to get away with 2 models there, I think. A little bit messy from the Eldar at the end, but they do get away okay-ish. BestN00b doing relatively well. Just double Dire Avengers and Howling Banshees. He's got a lot of usage out of his Warlock here. Warp Throw now in play. And the Immolator Destructor combo, always useful early on against Orks. Warboss breaking stuff. Level 3 this fella for Zevargel. What about the others? Level 2 for Ace with spiky armor. Floyd's Warboss is down. And level 2 twitching over there. Might get revived here by Zevargel. Heretics eating Daka to the face, but they're trying to get into melee for a Doom Blast. There it is. Now the Plague Champion's in there. And kind of missed his special attack. 72 DPS from the Plague Fist, which is not as much as the other Power Fist weapons in the game. But Pestilent Strike is awesome. 348, 444. Uh-oh, use your choppers on these sluggers. This is bad news for this CSM. Phoenix completely lost track of them there. Might lose a squad. Saved with the Pestilent Strike, and there's Touch of Nurgle Heretics. But Slugger's not afraid. They're not retreating out there. I'm going to try and finish those Heretics off. Only the Aspiring Champion remains. Don't think you want to attack him or retreat. He's going to explode for a lot of damage. These are burners on these Sluggers, so they could go and get at least one generator here. These are Floids. Where's everyone else? Tapping. Uh-oh, Storm Boys have their Nob Leader. Heavy melee on like a 350 hit point model. That guy's scary. Might even be more than that. What's going on west side? More pressure on the Orky generators. They're barely holding together as it is. Don't have to shoot them. Just look at them funny. Pomegorn's bashing the node. Not all of them able to get into combat with it. Double zone throats for Don Freeman. His allies, though, with only 3 units each. Dreadnought, though, on the way for Phoenix. Looks like that CSM squad did not get away for him. He's down to just the 1 with Eternal War. Any armor yet for the Plague Champion? No, he's level 3, though. He's done well. Warboss with his Angry Bits. I think Cyborg Implants would do well for Floyd to knock that Plague Champion around and really threaten those Heretics with that big stomp. Howling Banshees chopping up the Warboss. There's that Brood Nest as well. Nicely placed by Freeman. Hive Tyrant, you got anything yet? He's got his bonded exoskeleton. Crushing Claw, of course, is cheaper these days. 150.40, I think. But the Hive Tyrant is slower. That's set to change in 2.7, or at least has changed in 2.7. I think his Crushing Claw went back up to its previous price, and he's now back up to 4.5 speed. You can check out 2.7 at dawnofwar.info. Have a look in the forums. It is out now. Although this isn't it, obviously. Warrior Brood down to a single model. Where's that Brood Nest? It's still there. They can reinforce off it. Zoanthrope's getting stunned there by those stick bombers. One of them off the field. This is kind of dicey for Freeman. That Zoanthrope is very vulnerable without his shield. Just like 300 hit points, is it? Yeah. That is gone in the blink of an eye in the 3v3. Stick bombers with their stun bombs and barely get... How have they got 4 models? With 31 hit points. That was crazy. They did lose another one, I think. 330 to 372. VP's relatively even, but lots of pressure on this west side for the blue team. Feels like it's been a 2-1 against Ace of Swords for a little while. Zevargel split between the both sides, unable to help hold the west side for long, but now they've pushed out. And Floyd has a Dreadnought to deal with. He's got some tank busters on the way to do just that. Tier 3 for the blue team players. Don Freeman kind of cruised through Tier 2 with just double his own throats. And that was it. Got the bonded exoskeleton. He's well into Tier 3. BestN00b already there. Did not get a Tier 2 unit at all. Straight into Tier 3. Very strange. We'll see how it goes. Now trying to fight a Warboss who has spiky armor. Look at this big bang bang hammer. And Angry Bits. None of them getting the boss pole. Really? Come on now. Triple Orks and none of them get the boss pole. Maybe later on. And then we start to see big fights over this contested VP. One of them will get it. 310T to 358. No improved synapse for the Hive Tyrant either, of course. He's got his Crushing Claw. 108 heavy melee DPS. But look how slow he is. Hardboy's on the Warboss, putting it on himself there. But that's a lot of shootiness on him. He's losing health like crazy. Uses his stomp and gets away. Yeah, it'll be okay. Tier 3 now for Phoenix. Avatar of Cain on the way for BestN00b. Double Dire Avengers into Banshees, into the Avatar. Couldn't do that in a 1v1, could you? Stick bombs doing some work. Nicely aimed stun. And hit some termagants. Didn't actually kill any though. 289 to 358. Plague Champions down on this east side here. These Storm Boys are scary. Level 2 now. Phoenix lost a lot. Wow. Down to just CSM. Floyd with a really strong engagement over here. Took down the Dreadnought. Can we see the remains of it? Nope. Warboss probably broke the remains. Can't see him anywhere. And killed the Heretics and Havocs. I guess the Storm Boys had something to do with that. Sluggers here, level 2 for Zevargel, fully upgraded. Ace must have his fully upgraded, yep. Fully upgraded Sluggers are scary. Warlock runs away. Avatar of Cain will hit the field pretty soon, and it's going to do pretty well, I think, because it's going to shrug off the piercing damage of the Shooter Boys, pretty much, with its super heavy infantry armor. What's going to be a threat, really, over here? We have looters who could get a beamy death gun, but not much else. I don't think the Warbosses want to go and fight it. Here it is. Super unit for Eldar. Some devastating offensive abilities and a really nice passive area of effect buff, giving suppression immunity, I think, and a damage buff or something. What's going on east side? I hear explosions. Chosen Plague Marines on the field for Phoenix. Also get some Heretics up to try and recover. Here comes Freeman to help out with a Crushing Claw Hive Tyrant going to town on the Warboss. Gets away. Bunch of stuff to turn around and smack with your Crushing Claw there, Mr. Hive Tyrant. Boom. Boom. Only got 2 attacks off. He's so slow. But not anymore in 2.7. Some stuns for those Tyranids. These Orks caught between 2 really bad things. A bunch of Tyranids and that. Actually hit the Hormagaunts more than anything else, I think. This guy's pretty scary with his Wailing Doom. Wailing it around. I think it does like 180 damage per hit or something crazy. And it's splash damage as well. A little bit of splash on there. Not the full of 180, obviously, or that'd be crazy. Down go those looters. I'm not sure what the hell they were doing there. They need a response to this Avatar. Ace of Swords is going for a looted tank. Nob Squad hits the field for Zevargel. How many of these guys will we see? They have their Nob Leader already. That guy has 1100 hit points these days, I think. And yeah, massive changes to Nobs in 2.7, of course. Their Frenzy no longer gives damage immunity. It now gives 75% resistance to damage. Frenzy getting a cost decrease in terms of red, I think. But as it stands in 2.6, it still gives immunity to everything. For, was it 8 seconds or 10 seconds? But try and have a light. Don't like those fire and forget abilities that do crazy amounts of stuff, really. It is what it is. It's been like that since release, but in 2.7 things have changed. They'll at least take a 25% of damage while Frenzy is up. Think twice about going face first into a setup team, maybe. Chosen Plague Marines here. These guys are awesome. 2,000 hit points. Only regular infantry armor though, so they do take a lot of damage from piercing weapons, as you see there. The Dakar on them. Red team surging forward. Greenskins on the march against the blue here. BestN00b now getting a Fire Prism. He does have a lot of red. He can in fact use his Eldritch Storm, but Ace and Floyd also have enough for rocks. There's the Wrath of Cain. I think that was changed in 2.7 to like go off a little bit faster or something. Immolate trying to stay relevant in tier 3. Plague Champion fighting a Warboss here. That's the Bang Bang Hammer, which is like 150 damage per hit, I think. Something close to that. 75 DPS. 216, 347. Looted tank really giving something to this red team over here. Orks using it to push. Nobs on the prowl. Waiting for something to get close. They're itching for a fight here. Looks like they're going to head in and look for one. Nope, turn to engage the Avatar. Avatars took a lot of damage here. His Snob squad does not have its hammers. Oh, that's a Rocks in a really nasty place. Actually, some of the Knobs were blown back into it. They've used their Frenzy, and there's used the choppers as well. Unfortunately for them, they were all knocked all over the floor. Nice usage of grenades. Here's a Carnifex. He's going to get the Barb Strangler, which is an awesome upgrade. 191347. Warlock revived. Have Tyrant now level 3 with its bonded exoskeleton and that crushing claw. He'll be helpful fighting Knobs toe to toe, I think. That Fire Prism's already taken a lot of damage. Oh wow, takes out the looted tank though. And Barb Strangler Carnifex is up, and there's a Brood Nest too. Blue team swing it around pretty well here. Avatar still leading the line, needs to go back to base though, get some heals. Single cap for red, but Ace of Swords is looking pretty thin, losing his tank. Now getting a commando squad. Zevargel also getting a commando squad. Red team doing the right thing and going for blue team's natural. Is a Warboss with his power claw, which is like the size of a Dire Avenger. 95 DPS heavy melee. Taking shots from a tank. No upgrades. Tank Buster Barrage. On the VP, not the tank, trying to knock them off it. Actually killed a model there. And that is a lot of Daka. Look at that. Just draining the health of those CSM, and he loses them there. Phoenix taking his eyes off his CSM. Where's his chosen Plague Marines? Back at base. He did have them over on the west side for a while. You got armor yet, Mr. Plague Champion? No, level 6 though. Banshee's leaping right into the Warboss and getting knocked back by his angry, now I'm angry. Commandos, you're going to throw your burner bomb or anything? No, Banshees are running away in a way. It's a scary sight. Carnifex looming over your contested VP as you try and get it. Commandos, look at the damage from that rocket launcher. Can they get another shot off? Nope, Warlock is in there. D-Cannon on the field now for Best Noob, going straight into tier 3 and is not messing around with Avatar into Fire Prism into D-Cannon. Look at a range there. What's going on? Knob squad popping Frenzy. Can still slow them down with Crippling Poison, of course. There it is. Termagant's a good tool to have late game against Knobs. Can chain that together twice and they'll be frustrated. There we go. Basically completely wasted their Frenzy there, which is 75 red in 2.6. Warp throw as well. Oh, Eldritch Storm. Did it wipe the stick bombers? Not really. I don't think that was quite the best usage, but it did go for a big blob of Orks there. They got out of the way in time. Barb Strangler Carnifex spawning some Spore Mines, who I assume behave just like the regular Spore Mines. Avatar tanking piercing damage. Some tank busters getting shots in though. That's going to be a nasty Wailing Doom if these guys don't move. Retreating doesn't count. Ouch. Didn't drop that many models though. These guys didn't even drop a model at all. Level 3 shooter boys, those guys did. What's going on the west side? Double zone throw still in play. Not doing a whole lot of damage to a single entity though. That's the D-Cannon shot. Must have used Singularity already. Oh, there's a Singularity. No cap on this west side. Commandos being sneaky and annoying. Nice usage from Ace of Swords. You have double commandos from Zevargel. Here's the first one. Another one on the way, and some commandos of Floid. Sneaky Orks all round. Not going for the brute force Knobs and Flash Gits approach then. Those guys getting away. Yep. Are you going to cap over here, Mr. Warlock? What level are you? Level 5. No armor war gear yet. He's got tons of requisition, Best Noob. And a healthy amount of power too. He's only got 15 pop to spend. He gets another Fire Prism with it. That's him pop capped once that hits the field. I think Freeman, he's double zone throw into the Carnifex. He didn't get anything else, right? Where is that Carnifex? Is this it? It's a tank. That's a Fire Prism. There's the Carnifex. I don't think he got anything else. Yeah, red team struggling to make an impact on this west side. Blue team has set up pretty nicely, spread everything out. That Fire Prism really badly needs repairs. Where the hell are the Dire Avengers at? They're sitting at base. They should be repairing this thing. Brood nest going up again. And why not? Just spam that thing out. It's like 100 red or something. Commandos are going to finish off the fire prism because it's sat there with very little hit points. That was so risky, knowing that there were commandos on the prowl as well. Should have perhaps got it out of there sooner. That's a nasty barb strangler hit. Suppressing those knobs. And another hit. Big damage too. There's the frenzy though. Oh, are they going to engage? They're engaging. Wow, the Banshee's getting wrecked. Do not get away, do they? No, they don't. Here come Sluggers. Knob Squad in retreat. I thought they would have stayed in play a bit longer there. That's a nasty Wailing Doom. Sluggers abandoned by their knobs there, and they'll barely survive. Wow, Fire Prism, the second tank that they've wrecked. Well, here are Commando knobs again, but they're suppressed. What are they suppressed by? Oh, Barb Strangler Carnifex over there. They're not going to get out. No. 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3. Orcs somehow have a single cap. Plague Champion's going to die, is he? There's Pestilent Strike. Using it to try and get out, but he cannot get out. Chosen Plague Marines doing their thing. These guys level 2 now. 2200 hit points. Mark of Khorne tank. He's got lots of resources, Phoenix. What is he waiting for? Great and clean one, I guess, if you're waiting for that 200 power. Another Carnifex of Freeman. This one might be a Thornback maybe to go toe-to-toe with those knobs, although another Barb Strangler I think we're doing quite well. Barb Stranglers are just amazing. Commando's chased down by Chosen Plague Marine. He's not the best unit for chasing something down, has to be said. Don't even have a melee charge, poor bastards. The only melee unit in the game that doesn't have one. Unless you count Catachins as melee units, but I don't think that's a thing that people do. Shooter Boy's wrecked by a tank. Ace of Swords lamenting the presence of those double Zoanthropes. I mean, is it worth getting Storm Boys up at this stage to try and go after him? It's so hard. I think they should just go full middle. Need to try and split that force up. Lots of Dakar on this Hive Tyrant. Is he going to use his invulnerability? Maybe he's used it already. Oh, look at that. Tossed aside. Lots of tossing aside sync kills in Dawn of War 2. Sluggers live? Maybe? Nope. Thornback Carnifex is the second Carnifex for Freeman. I think these guys maybe can push up a bit and bash some power and stuff, or the Orcs are going to keep coming back at you. These are Floyd Storm Boys. You might have brought them over here specifically to go after the Zoanthropes. The Orcs looking kind of depleted here. Going to take a Herculean effort to hold on to this VP lead, I think. But when you've got knobs, you can do anything. Going after the Thornback Carnifex. Oh, they know that's the Barb Strangler one. Storm Boys forcing the Zoanthropes to retreat. If nothing else, they might finish this one off. If they can jump again. No, they don't jump again. Warboss now helping out the Zevargels with the Power Claw. Knob Squad still in play. More commandos on the way for Zevargel. Double looted tanks for Ace. That's a Rocks getting a D-cannon off the field. Also, wow, big damage to that Carnifex. Got rid of the Brood Nest as well. Can they get that Fire Prism? Oh, took that Carnifex down. That was the... What one was that? The Barb Strangler? No, that was the Thornback. Dealt with it pretty quickly. Here's a great and clean one from Phoenix. Why is he calling out Avatar? Is it in trouble? He's alright. A Rocks. I think I missed the Rocks. Look at the state of the terrain here. Great and clean one fighting a Warboss. Not a good fight for the Warboss. He'll be alright though, I think. Yeah. Great and clean one does not do splash damage with his attacks these days. But big hefty hits nonetheless. There's a nice foul snare, which miraculously did not bug out. Often bugs out the first time you use it for me. That was weird. Looked like those shooter boys lassoed back to the grey and clean one there. I think they just sprinted after the other model to get cohesion. Infiltrated knobs. Man, that rocket launcher packs a punch, doesn't it? Nice little unit, commandos. got a lot to contend with in tier 3, of course. 71 to 270. The Orks with a 2-to-1 cap, but not for much longer. Blue team grabbing back this west side. They need to put pressure on the zone throats quickly, I think. Easier said than done, but they do have Storm Boys from Floid at level 3. To almost 2,000 hit points and soak up some damage at least. They're bashing gens over here. It's nice. Important to do that whenever you can, even late game. Heavy armor Floid on his Warboss, giving him 900 more hit points. The biggest health increase out of any of the war gears. Armor of Pestilence for the Plague Champ gives you plus 600, which is pretty nice. Does he have it? Yeah, he has it. Almost level 8. Up to 1,500 hit points there. 69, 256, double 2-to-1 cap even for blue team. Looking pretty solid on that west side. Orks recognizing that and going for their natural, but they're now trying to solidify there. What am I hearing? Hormagaunt's getting wrecked is what I'm hearing. Are they going to go after this? 2 Power Claw Warbosses. This guy's charging and he's starting it off. Floyd needs to follow him in there. Looted tank on the field for Floyd. Ace of Swords going for yet another one. Did he lose one already or did he just cancel it? Warboss started it off, but he's the first to retreat out, and there's an Eldritch Storm. Here comes some Chaos stuff in behind. That is nasty. Ouch. Brave from Zevargel, but didn't end very well for him, that engagement. Floyd doing a good job staying on the outside and shooting. Gotta stay away from this guy. Storm Boy is going after him. Very, very brave. He, of course, has that passive damage ticks around him, the Great and Clean one. It's not a huge amount, but it helps. 69, 229, 2-to-1 cap again for blue team. Ace of Swords just trying to keep him busy over here, so don't get too comfortable. What level are these zone throats now? Level 3 and level 3. So hard to deal with well-played zone throats. Nob squad in here with user choppers. What are they going to go after? The Brood Nest? They are going after the Brood Nest. They have their huge hammers now too. Eating some grenades and retreating. Brilliant King was on the way over to have a meeting, but they were not interested. What do you do now, Ace of Swords? He's getting loads of tanks. He's got 2, a third on the way, another D-cannon on the way for BestN00b. We have a Nob squad here for Floyd. Only the second Nob squad we've seen. Chaos Terminators for Phoenix. Does he get Lightning Claws to fight those guys 1-to-1? Alongside the Plague Champion, that'd be pretty scary. Double Barb Strangler Carnifexes for Fr33man. And why not? Those things are awesome. Got one on a natural. Can put one over on the contested. It's up to the Orks to push. And that's not going to be easy. Triple infiltrated commandos can maybe one-shot a vehicle. Certainly on rear armor with a volley from each. But there's not one over here. BestN00b, I think, recognizing the fact that his fire prisms are always going to be vulnerable to these commandos. But they were forced to retreat because of a singularity going off. This guy charging in. Ouch, eating a foul snare. It is pretty foul. Are you going to get away, big fella? He's alright. Triple looted tanks. Eating those focus warp blasts off the zone throats. Here comes Floyd's Warboss all the way over from the east side. What's he up to? What's he trying to achieve here? Does he have a rocks to drop? Don't think so. Nope. No rocks. That would have been a super great target for rocks there. Big lump of stuff. Look at this though, the Orks. With 4 looted tanks, and they are capping with commandos who, of course, cap 50% faster. Might be able to take down the Avatar here. That was a nasty D-cannon hit. Down went one of the looted tanks. Wrath of Cain will be dodged easily. Hive Tyrant with his invulnerability fighting a Nob squad. Here come Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators. Bad news for the Nobs. One of the only things they don't really want to fight, alongside maybe Gene Stealers with their Synapse. Here we go. Nob squad getting wrecked now. Look at that damage. Here comes the Warboss, but the Nobs are going to go down if they're not careful. They did finish off the Hive Tyrant, and looks like they will get away with a with, wow, loads of hit points still on those two models. Tried to teleport after them, but they were stunned for some reason. What happened there? Maybe Big Stomp went off before they teleported and they teleported in a stunned state. Level 9 this Warboss. And that's what happens when you try to fight Lightning Claw Terminators. Even if you are level 9, they don't care. Down goes the tank. Nicely done. These commandos are kind of blobbed up though. Big target for that Barb Strangler Carnifex. 56. 145. The Orks are digging in and not giving us up. Play champion there to tie things. Is he level 8 yet? He's level 10. That's what he is. 1654 hit points. Nob squad now for Ace. Can these Nobs turn things around for the greenskins here? Been on the back foot for a while on this west side. Doing good damage, these commandos, with their rocket launcher against the Terminators, which won't be a thing in 2.7. Terminators will no longer be a large-sized unit. Not something I'm looking forward to thematically, but for balance reasons, things have to happen. Boo. Balance ruins everything. Plague Champion is scary. Oh, he's got his Icon of Nurgle as well. Does he still have his Great and Clean one? He does. And he's still hanging out. The Avatar lives as well. That guy got pretty low at some point. Are you going for the natural Orks? Man, he's set up over here with a Nurgle Shrine, Chosen Plague Marines and Lightning Claw Terminators. That's a pretty scary melee force supported by a Shrine. Swarmlord on the way for Freeman. No Neurothroat then. Don't see a lot of that fella. I think he got a cost decrease in 2.7. Warp Throat. Tossing those knobs over there. Can the red team push? They don't have requisition to really get more stuff on the field. Loads of power. Foul Snare knocking the Warboss here off the revive, which would have leveled him to 6, I think. Using his Angry Bits to get away though. That big health regen from Angry Bits. Oh, he's trying to revive again. Isn't he a team player, this guy? But he's not going to be able to do it. 56-78, blue team might be able to hang on to victory here. They've played it pretty solidly. Very strange opening for Best Noob, not getting anything whatsoever in tier 2. But he made it work. The Avatar's done a hell of a lot for him. And they're still alive. See a council on the way now. There's a Rocks trying to get the Havocs off the field and does so. Takes out the, I think that's a las cannon turret as well. Whoa. Hive Tyrant goes down. Red team making a good push here. Really good push. Do those knobs get away? They do. Those guys are frenzied now. Taking explosions off the Chosen Plague Marines, but they are pretty low, these knobs. Here comes a Swarm Lord of all things. Is he going to use the Blade Storm? He does. That thing's awesome. Blade Flurry, maybe it's called that, actually. I see looted tanks on the west side. There they are. And there's a Rocks. Wipes out the D-Cannon, I think. 44-65, it's a 1-to-1 cap. Unfortunately for the red team. Tanks can't capture points. Here comes a couple of lonely sluggers to try and get a decap or something. Warlock will jump on them though and scares them off. What's going on over here though? Warboss with his Power Claw going to town on these Terminators, takes one out. And Chaos Terminators are really expensive to reinforce. Like 150 or 150, something like that. Let's see, in fact. Can we see these guys reinforced, please? Now I'm curious. Come on, reinforce them. Come on, Phoenix. Don't let me down. Looted tanks over here still. Is that 4? That is 4 from Ace of Swords. They are 150 to reinforce. That is really expensive. And they're capping with knobs. That is a Nurgle nuke though. Need to pop your frenzy, fellas. There we go. So going to be knocked over by the plasma grenades and pulled around by those chaos chains, but they won't take damage from it. And they would have took massive amounts. There's a Singularity as well. Warboss smashing Eldar to little pieces with his claw. Might be able to finish off the D-Cannon and does. Note that the D-Cannon itself doesn't have any hit points, much like Shuriken, so kill all the little Dire Avengers around it and it goes down. Look at this, red team might get a cap here. These guys are not capping, there we go. Awesome to see these 4 looted tanks trundling around. Where's the other one gone? Where's the other? There it is, getting some repairs from the sluggers. 44 to 41, such a close game. 1-to-1 cap. Uh-oh. Angry Space Elf is in the house. Witchblade of Kernus, Providence, Warp Throw. Going absolutely ballistic. See a council giving him that nice 15% range damage reduction as well. Trying to formation going off. Oh, Knobsword getting into the back line after those zone thropes, which would cause so much problems for the blue team over here. Can they get one? They cannot. Does he have any termagants left? Freeman does have a single termagant brew. Not sure where they are. There they are. Great and clean one in play. Orks not giving this up. They are fighting to the last. What I'd like to see. He's actually capping here. Someone is capping. Is it the Commandos? I think it was the Commandos. But not anymore. They're going to go down, in fact. Maybe. Blob cap with the shooter boys. Sure, why not? There's a turret right there. And the Great and Clean one's damaging everything passively. There's the Cloud of Fire still. I don't think he's going to get a cap. But they do have the west side. They have a double. They have the double here, the Orks. This is amazing stuff. Floyd's down to just his Knob squad. That was him desperately trying to get the cap on natural, but he kept it decapped for a while at least. Single here for red. Can they do this? I think they're going to do this. The Orks take it. No. Stopped. 1-to-1 cap. I genuinely thought that was it. Saved at the last by the blue team. Wow. Another Nurgle nuke. Where's that, the third one we've seen? These 4 tanks are doing an awesome job. He's basically holding his side by himself, Ace of Swords. Here's Zevargel's commandos though. Down goes a tank. Still got 3 alive. Taking shots at that Swarm Lord who's just trying to get them out of there. Blue team now with a 2-to-1. Can they see this out? Man, the Great and Clean one and the Avatar have been awesome. Wonder what level this guy would have been if he could level up. Plague Champion amongst Orc bodies on that natural VP there with a turret up. Looks like they're going to be able to see this out with the 2-to-1 cap. That was so close getting that natural cap back. If Floyd was there for a couple of seconds more, keeping it contested and uncapped, they would have had the game there. Razor thin victory it looks like for the blue team here. But you never know. GG says BestN00b, but here comes some knobs using Frenzy, but now they're stunned by Pestilent Strike. Trying to get a decap, but they're not going to have time. A 1 VP victory for blue team. You do not get closer than that. What awesome stuff. Let's look at the heroes. End of the game. Level 9 Warlock. Level 8 Hive Tyrant. He had Psychic Scream at the end. Awesome. Level 10 Plague Champion doing Nurgle's work. Level 6 Warboss for Ace with all those tanks. Level 10 Warboss for Zevargel and a level 8 Warboss for Floyd who had the trophy rack at the end. There you have it guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next time.